Sardar Udham. It's almost ironic that we get to watch this movie over the internet, at the comfort of our homes. The struggles the story depicts almost makes you feel guilty to do so. So let's get started. The trailer for this movie was so beautiful. It set very high expectations for me in terms of the portrayal of 1940s England, costumes, and of course, Vicky Kaushal himself. I was hoping for a nice and engaging plot. I thought it would be some sort of an espionage thriller. Of course, what unfolded when I watched this movie was, to my surprise, a biopic. Yes, another one of those. But quite possibly one of the best ever. This incredible movie has a runtime of 2 hours and 43 minutes, and I felt the movie could have easily shaved off at least 20 minutes from it. And it would have still been a long but slightly more engaging movie. There's a scene where Udham Singh is trying to find survivors from the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and this scene drags on for too long. My only problem was that it dragged on to a point where it had no extra impact to the plot. I also wish this movie mentioned a clearer number for how many people actually died in the massacre. Thousands, he says at one point in the film. Indicating a clear number as to how many actual deaths occurred would have made the Jallianwala Bagh scenes more impactful. Vicky Kaushal. Come on, man. Just how good is this guy? A brilliant performance from a brilliant actor. Watch it to know. I really can't say anymore. Outstanding acting performance in this movie was the perfect platform for him to do so. I'm usually not a fan of when a movie shows you an event occur and then backtracks all the way for showing you all the events that lead up to it. In the case of this movie, I loved it. I loved that we get to know more about Sardar Udham as Scotland Yard interrogates him. It was an investigative style of learning about his story, and it really makes you feel like you're privy to something slowly unfolding in front of you. Even though it's a biopic, it never felt like someone narrating a life story to you. This leads to a discontinuous narrative, which I personally loved in this movie. The movie is full of tonal elements that lend themselves to the narrative splendidly. The cinematography is top-notch with some outstanding color grading. Bleak London winters add to the gloominess of the London events. Even a simple 30-second scene of Udham and Bhagat Singh cycling in India in an early morning just pops out of the screen, makes it feel like an expensive painting. Combine the picture-perfect cinematography with extremely well-thought-out costumes and a set that is gorgeously reminiscent of the 1930s, and you have a film that looks outstanding. The movie looks expensive, and if it was, its money is well spent for sure. Another thing I loved about this movie was the fact that they've actually cast British actors for the British roles, and they speak with actual British accents. The IRA member speaks with an Irish accent. I am sick and tired of hearing American accents coming out of a British character. It's either that or the actors are dubbed for someone else talking with a horrendous fake accent. This movie is a very heavy movie. Thoughts about it may linger beyond the length of the movie. It's serious through and through and has almost no jokes whatsoever. It certainly falls into the slow burn category. Know what you're going for when you decide to watch or recommend this movie to anyone. The history we learn about in schools simply doesn't let us feel the actual weight of the events of 1919, 1940, 1984, and a lot more. I felt ashamed to be hearing of Udham Singh for the first time while watching this movie. The character tries to create a revolution, and if you're watching the story unfold while simultaneously realizing that you simply don't know much about Udham Singh, the movie itself has a way of guilt-tripping you just a little extra. It's not your fault you didn't know. It's not your fault this movie took so long to be made. And it's not your fault this wasn't in your history books. I'm going to give this movie an 86 out of 100. Thank you so much for watching. And if you find yourself watching more than one video from my channel, please subscribe. And have a nice day.